the one we're going to be doing. Oh, it doesn't give us the option.
Some people in their cars.
Morning, Dawn.
Good morning.
This is Patty Weston and Charlene Wheeler,
And where are you from?
Grand Ledge.
Grand
I'm
Ledge?
sorry, Lansing. We're at the
Lansing.
Lansing Church.
Okay, Lansing Church.
Yeah.
Great, welcome.
Thank
So are you guys going to be directors, leaders?
Yeah, we're lightning sunbeams this year.
Great.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. Is this your first time at a leader shop?
Yes.
Well, welcome.
Thank
This will
you.
be different.
So we see that you're in your car. Are you driving somewhere?
We are just well, Charlene's going to Sabbath school. And then we have church after this. So
So you're going to stay on for the first breakout?
yes.
Great.
Rula. Yeah. I just can't see the other people is the only thing.
Oh, we're next school.
Yeah, all the people that are on.
Wow.
Heather is also going to be on from our church.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Sabbath to you. It's exciting to see you. Got people from all around. All right, we got Yasmik and somebody that we got a couple of faces in the screen. Good to see you. Glad you guys are here. Happy Sabbath. I see Bonnie, Samantha, Melissa. Hey, would love to, and I see Delali, I see Paula, Patty, and welcome. Glad to see you, Narita, Shannon, welcome back. Serena, Marisol, good to see you, Marisol. And then there's some other folks. I don't see your faces, but I see Gomez's and Bonnie, Samantha. We'd love to, if you choose to. We're not making anybody do it. We'd love to see your face. It just makes it easier to communicate on Zoom. And one of the things that we've discovered on Zoom, and I coined the new last night. One of the things on Zoom, when someone clicks off their face, it's kind of like a virus. People say, "Oh, people don't look at me," and so what happens is we can't communicate as well. It's not COVID, we call it VIDD or something like that.
COVID.
COVID.
Oh, yeah, COVID, yeah. Right.
COVID.
No vid. That's what it was. Yeah, no vid. So, well, very good. Welcome back. This is the Adventure Leader Shop. We are broadcasting live on our Michigan Adventure Facebook page. And if you haven't signed up for Facebook Michigan Adventures, we encourage you to do so. We have a lot of helpful things on there. And we're also broadcasting live on YouTube. So this
Craig,
will be
is it just me or you're
available.
breaking in and out?
It's you, Sherry. He's fine.
He's fine.
Am I okay? Good. I'm glad to hear that. But all right. Well, welcome. We're gonna have a word of prayer together, and then we'll get started here. So Dawn, if you could pray for us.
Sure. Bow our heads. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for this glorious Sabbath day. Thank you for bringing us here, though it's via technology. We're thankful for that so that we can still come together and grow in our leadership to our families and churches, Lord. And we just pray that this would be a blessed Sabbath and that would be drawing closer to you and closer in our walk in serving you. So we ask that you bless our technology and bless all those that are attending and still joining on. So we thank you for your love and care in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. It's always good to talk to the cream of the crop at the local churches, those who choose to work with young people, with their families. It's a pleasure to work with all of you. I wish we could shake hands and give each other hugs, but we'll do that virtually, right? So one of the things this morning, we're going to zoom in on a particular feature of our adventure programming that we have, the Adventure Ministry in Michigan. We have a website that it can be very useful for you. It's at mizdayouth.org, and I'm going to share the screen here. Oh, can you give me some help here, Tim? I gave you host. All right, there we go. Thank you, Tim. Here is our website. Are you seeing that okay? You see Ms. the Youth? Thumbs yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes.
So here's mizdayouth.org, and this is just a little, for this weekend, we have a special promotional screen here. This is where you can join the Zoom link. You can invite your friends and anybody else that's in your local church that might be interested can join there. And all of the documents that the presenters will be referring to, not all of them have handouts, but those who do, it'll be right there. You can just click on it. And some of them you can download, some you can't. But here's what I really wanted to show you today, is you can go to Club Ministries and you can click on Adventures, or you can click right here, either one. You can go in there, and then we have really a nice thing that it's really styled for the adventure director, the adventure club. It's not necessarily for the public. Certainly the public can join it. It's a public site, but it's really intended for your use. So here's your club yearly application. You can come in here, and this is every year. You'll each club needs to register with the conference office so that you're covered by insurance. It's really, really important. And we're not going to get into all of that right now, but that's where you can fill in your church, or you can print this off, have your church vote that you're going to do that. There's a club membership form. You can use this for your kiddos, your families that come in to sign up for your adventure club. And then there's consent to treat, there's permission slips, so all the forms you might need. These are the different conference events that we have. This is where you can register for all of those. We have helpful links. If you, we're talking about volunteer verification, that's a really important spot. Every single one of your staff needs to go through the Adventist screening verification. And so we have that right there on that screen. Here's the Michigan Youth Calendar all the way out through 2024. And so you can see that, you know, the monthly reports, we'll be talking about monthly reports, investiture, awards, anything you want to do with getting supplies or your uniform is at Advent Source. So we have a link there. You can see how helpful it is. There's some really important information about hay rides and that type of thing. The adventure evangelism track. And then here's the theme songs for all of them. If you wanted to be able to, if you're like me and musically challenged, you can play instead of singing a cappella, you could play the Little Lamb, the Eager Beaver, or the Adventure theme song, and then you could have them all sing to it. at your club meeting. So that is
A
just a
hand
real
raised.
quick zoom in. What's that?
We have a hand raised. Patty?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Bonnie.
Patty? I unmuted.
Yes, okay, I had to unmute. Question is, the volunteer verification, now do we need to go through that every year as far as the Adventist screening?
No, that's it for 3 years. So if you signed up within the last 3 years, then you're good with that. But
Okay.
we'd really encourage the directors to, if you've added new people on, that you just kind of keep track of how that's going. But if you've done it within the last 3 years, you're good. Good
Okay.
question.
Thank you.
Patty. Yeah.
And we're
All
going to
right.
be going
Well,
over that more tonight. And we're
we'll
going to be going over that.
yes, we'll be going over that in ad nauseum detail, and not a lot of detail, but we'll give a lot more coverage to it tonight. So that's pretty much what I wanted to. It's kind of a zoom in. There's some really useful tools that we have. One other thing is all of the presenters this week are going to be talking about the curriculum. The curriculum is really well. You can see how nice it's bound. It's written really well. It was rewritten like 3 or 4 years ago. And so when they talk about in the curriculum, they're talking about this, like this is the leader's guide for the builder. It's got lots of information on the inside of it, and basically meeting by meeting layout for you. And so when they talk about that, and you'll see more of this, but just so that when you say the curriculum, it's not some nebulous thing that you don't know. It's actually a book. It's actually comes in a packet that you can purchase from Advent Source. It's called the Adventurer Kit. And so, and it's got everything you need to really run a successful adventurer program. The most important thing to have a successful adventure program is good staff that love Jesus, right? That's the most important thing. And so you're going to see all of this stuff, and this weekend you're going to get so overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed, because just pick some things that you really, really want to hone in on. And these people that are teaching you this week, tell you what, they're a top shelf people. They understand how overwhelming it is. And so ask questions, and just, they'll help you break it down into what is the easiest way to get really started with that. So very good. Now, I know there's lots of questions, but we're going to go into the breakouts so that we have enough time for them to be able to have an effective class. And so it's going to be just a little bit clunky right here, okay? Some of you had done some pre-sign-ups, and those of you who have already been assigned to the breakout that you signed up for. Some of you may not have signed up, and it's no worries at all, no worries at all. But we're just going to spend just a little bit of time right now making sure, if you knew that you did not sign up, pre-sign up for the classes, for the breakouts, in chat right now, can you type in which class you intend to go to? And those classes are the nature curriculum, recruiting volunteers, or the club curriculum. Now, club curriculum, if you're brand new, that is the one that we are encouraging you to, oh yeah, let me just share the screen here real quick. Thank you, Nilsina. And it's let me share my screen. Okay, you guys seeing that? Okay, so it's in the documents and forms. and the virtual leadership schedule. So right here's the ones that you can sign up for. So in chat right now, if you did not pre-sign up, we're going to automatically assign you if you pre-signed up. But there's the nature curriculum, which we'll be talking about how families and kids can enjoy nature and grow closer to Jesus. Recruiting volunteers, which is part of the Adventure Director track. And that Adventure Director track has really good tips on how to be a really good adventure director. And then the club curriculum is the green one. If you're brand new, just if you're just joining us, last night we talked about that if you're brand new, that we really encourage you to maybe take all of the green.
Green or
you
red.
Could take the red, green or red. So whatever fits your needs for your particular church, take the green or the red. And the Adventure Director is kind of an advanced thing, but we really encourage you to take the basic staff classes. So I'll let you choose that. If you have not signed up again, I've said it 3 times. It takes me 3 times to hear it sometimes. Go ahead and put in chat which one of those classes that you'd like to take, the nature curriculum, recruiting volunteers, or the club curriculum. And so then Tim is going to be assigning you to that. It looks like Diana is going to recruiting volunteers. Okay, very good. Are you happy with that, Tim, how it's going? All right, very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to break you out to your breakout rooms right now. And some of you will just stay right on here. This is the one that's going to be recorded. Sherry Castanon's club curriculum. This one will be recorded. The other 2 breakouts won't be recorded. So I always like saying this on Zoom. People, go to your rooms. So Tim, go ahead and send them out. And then we will.
You'll get a pop-up. You have to accept it to go to your room. Yep.
All right, so those that stay on with me, we're doing the club curriculum. And we're just going to give a couple minutes for everybody to get to their breakout rooms.
I'm just curious, is this the basic staff one?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The club
Okay.
curriculum is for your basic staff, correct.
Okay. I'm here, but if I'm in and out of video, I've got little kids that are here too. So
Sure. And I just tell people I would love for you to be on video if you can. If you can't, I understand. But I love to see my friends. It makes me feel better on
yes,
so
I understand.
If not, I understand too. People have families. This is what it's all about.
Thank you.
I'm camping with my family as well, so I had to shut off the video on and off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so I'm going to, again, we're doing club curriculum, and I'm going to share my screen and get my presentation up here.
Hey, this is Shannon. I had to step away and help with something. Are we in the main room right now?
We are going to be doing the curriculum walkthrough.
Right. Is this the main room or are we in a breakout room right now?
We're in the main room.
Okay. Terry's trying to get on, and when he gets on, he needs to go to something, whatever the director's path is, but he's still trying to get on.
Probably recruiting volunteers.
Okay.
Is that director's path, Tim? Terry is trying to get on.
So the director's path
Yeah.
is recruiting.
Yeah, so Tim will put him into recruiting. So did
But
you?
he has a chat.
Perfect. He's on.
Okay, good. So he needs to just chat. Tim, did you see him in there?
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I'm at.
Terry.
Okay, I see it. Okay.
Right.
No, go to chat. Recruiting volunteers. I got it. Thank you.
And let me get my slideshow going here. Okay, can you all see that screen okay? Can you see my screen? Thumbs up.
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're going to walk through the curriculum today. Whoops. And I think I turned off there we go. Okay. All right. Well, before we begin, I'm going to have a word of prayer just to help me and help make sure that it's the right information coming through. So, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this beautiful Sabbath. And we thank you for the chance to serve you this year with our families and children. Lord, I just ask that you will be with this presentation, that it will be your words and your thoughts that come through, and that we will learn more about how to serve you in our churches. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. So this is the curriculum walkthrough. We're going to go through this. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask. And I'm not seeing, let me get here we go. All right. So the adventure goals. Children will commit their hearts and lives to Jesus Christ, and that they will acquire the habits, skill, and knowledge to live for Jesus today. Of course, that's our main goal. We want to have children living for Jesus. And the curriculum uses an active approach. It's a hands-on approach. The overview of the curriculum is it's in 4 areas. It's organized into 4 basic relationships in a child's life. One is my God. Second is myself, my family, and my world. And we'll be talking about those 4 different areas, but it encompasses a full circle of a child's life. So going over those 4 areas, we have my God, and children learn the exciting story of the great controversy. So as we go through the curriculum and the different areas, they're learning about the great controversy, and they're building a relationship with God, who has done so much for them. And so, you know, that's our primary goal. And so that we're going to focus on in every little area, but the main thing is the my God section. Myself, each child takes part in activities which help him or her to appreciate and develop his or her own specialness. And in this area, we're always saying you are very special. God made you very special. We're all, you know, made differently, but God made us each very special. And some of these children don't hear that enough. So you'll find children from all different types of families, but we want to make sure they all know that God made them very special. My family helps children to build positive family relationships. And some of these children, again, are going to come from broken families. Our families, we were talking about how things have changed over 50 years ago, how the families have changed nowadays. And so we're going to have to, you know, make sure that children that come from broken families or different family situations, that we still help them to know how they can build positive time in their family. And then my world leads children to experience the world God created for them. You know, that's one of my favorite things, is to take children out in nature, because that's where they truly learn about God's character and how loving he is. And so when you go out in the sunshine and you're saying, look at this beautiful tree and these beautiful flowers, we're going to show them that God created that just for them, and how we can take care of it so that we can enjoy it. All right, there are different levels in the curriculum. And this is really fun because each level is designed specifically for an age group. We have our little lambs, which are those precious little 3 and 4-year-olds. That's our preschool level. And little lambs can be done at like 2 years. So if you get somebody at age 3 and then they're in it again in 4, you can still do that program in 2 years. It's very well done. And I like to say, and the question is always, well, what's the earliest you can start a little lamb? And I say, well, if a 3-year-old can sit through a story, then that's a good time to start them. If they're not quite ready to sit for a story, you might wait till they're 4. Then we have our eager beavers. That's the kindergarten level. And that would be like your 5-year-olds and maybe even your 6-year-olds, depending when they start first grade. Some parents are starting them at 6, some are starting them at 7. That can be, eager beavers can also be done in 2 years. So that way you have the flexibility of when they're starting. And then we have busy bees. Those are your first graders. Those are your, you know, they're just really ready to go and they're starting to read a little bit and they're, you know, they're a great class. So you have your first graders as busy bees. Then we move on to our sunbeams, which are our 2nd graders. And then we have our builders, which are our 3rd graders. And our 4th graders are helping hands. And then we also have a helping hand advance for those, maybe they're in 4.5, 4th grade, but they finished 4th grade and they're not quite ready to go to 5th grade. We have a helping hand advance, which they're actually going to be helping with teaching some of the classes or extra level. All right, so each level builds on the levels before it and is designed to interest and challenge children of each grade level. Tim, can you? All right, so leader helps for each level. So each level has its own book, which is wonderful. When I started years ago, there was not these wonderful books. And each book has 22 or now 24, maybe even more sample programs in each book. So it's all laid out for you and we'll walk through how those come. In the director's guide, and I have the director's guide right here. Hopefully you can see that. I probably should see on my screen. Get there. Oh, there we go. Just so you can see. This is the director's guide that comes with the kit. And when you open it, it has all the information for all the classes, but you'll see that first page there has it broken down for the meetings. So each book has the meetings lined up. So you'll see there's meeting 1. It's going to focus on that My God section. Remember, we talked about those 4 different areas. And see, then meeting 3 is My World. Each level is going to focus on the My World section. So you'll see that each meeting is laid out. And at the top, you'll see what's required for investiture. So those items need to be covered in order for that child to meet the investiture requirements. It's kind of like a graduation. And so that's what the required for investiture means at the top. And then in some of the items that you'll get in your kit, you'll get a sample of each of the cards. And the cards are like a record card. So you can keep track for each child in each level. So Eager Beavers is what's on the screen, but there's one for each area. So each level has its own cards that you can order. And then you can keep track when they come to the meetings, or if they're doing it at home with their parents because of COVID, if you're doing it online, you can just send one of these cards to the families and then they can fill them out at home. So as they go over an area, they can check it off. I used to have the parents do it in the class. So when we're sitting down working on an award or we're going over these requirements, the parents could check it off and sign off as they did it. And then at the end of the year, when it's time for investiture, you can see that it's done or what still needs to be worked on, and we can sign off. So it's a lot of fun for the kids to see that they're finishing items as they go along. This
Hey,
is just
Sherry.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, one quick question, sorry. Can all this stuff, including the director's guide and all that, that's all ordered on Advent Source?
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
Okay.
You can order, and let me show you what the box looks like again. Get this over here. This box comes from Advent Source, and it's a kit, and it includes all the books, a few of the cards, and let me just show you. So we have the Little Lamb book comes in it. An Eager Beaver book comes in it. A Busy Bee. It's a lot of stuff comes in this kit. Sunbeam. Builders. And the Leader's Guide for the Helping Hand. And then I think in the kit, you also get the music CD. And let's see, the resource flash drive. So it actually has a lot of the printout pages on there. So yeah, you get a whole kit and then it basically helps you with everything.
Okay.
And so each page or each level, this one happens to be Beaver Tales. When you open the books, they actually have like 10 minutes and it tells you things you're going to go over, materials needed, a beaver puppet, you can order that, or a stuffed animal. It tells beavers are busy. It's a book you can get on Advent Source. So it gives you what you're going to talk about, what materials are needed, how long that should take approximately for your meeting. So it's all laid out so nicely. You can see here, they're going to make this little beaver bag out of paper bag. Tells you what supplies are needed. I mean, it's just so laid out. It even gives you, if you go to Pinterest, puppet pattern. So it even tells you where to go online to get some of these resources. So you're all set for your meeting. Here's another sample of what they're going to do in that meeting. They're going to do a beaver tunnel. And maybe you don't do all the things they list in this book. Maybe you come up with something different. This is to help you get started, or the person that's teaching the class, to get them going. So if they're not sure what to do, you can say, it's all in here. You got it all covered. But if they need other ideas, they could go online. Maybe they decide this isn't going to work for them because I don't have big boxes. So they come up with another game that the kids can do. But it's a good starting point.
Are these usually meant to do once a week, or do different clubs meet maybe like once a month?
That's a good question. We like to say 2 times a month. And the reason is because you want to have the consistency going. So if you're doing only once a month, that's a long time before those kids see you again with their families. And sometimes that gets a little broken. Whereas if you have it at least every other week, or maybe 2 times a month together or whatever, you have a little bit more consistency. The kids get in that rhythm of how a meeting goes. The families get together more and do things together more. And so that's what we're encouraging, is 2 times a month. I know some clubs do more than that. If you go less, it gets a little bit awkward when they come back together. They forget because they're younger children.
Thank you.
Again, this is some more, this is the builder record card. And you'll see under My World, make friends with a person of another church or generation, or someone who has a disability. Invite that person or family to church events. So that's one of the requirements they're needing to do for that level. Let's see, under My Family, create a family flag or banner, or make a collage of stories and or photography about your family. So we used to do little family flags, and you can buy some material at the store, and you can get scraps and just the heavy duty material. And then I'd buy like the puffy glue and have them write on it, you know, make their own crest. And then they have a family flag, and you just buy a little doll to stick on it. And so you have, you know, a hands-on. Again, we want an active learning. So you're wanting any hands-on or singing or playing a game, some way to teach the curriculum, but not necessarily preach the curriculum. I don't like to use that word very much, but you know, we're wanting families to be involved together. And you want the parents or the guardian or the aunt, the uncle, grandparents to doing this with the child. So it's important you include them. And what I like to say is to have somebody maybe in charge of an area. If they're in charge of the Busy Bees, you have them get all the supplies ready, have them get the meeting. If they need help getting something, you can help them with that if you're the leader or the director, but give them charge of that area. And then when they get to the area, they make sure the parents are helping their child with those activities. Again, this is showing the page in the book that's going to kind of walk through for that meeting what you're going to go over. This is a builder, and you'll see for meeting 1. And they have meeting 1, meeting 2, meeting 3, meeting 4. But let's say you're like, well, it's such a beautiful Sabbath coming up, or this time of year is a little nicer, go for a hike. Maybe we'll do our outside meeting that day. And so you might switch it up. You might want to do meeting 4 at first, and then meeting 1 over here. They laid it out for you, but sometimes in Michigan, we have to kind of switch things around. So I just look ahead and see what meeting you're going to want to start on. This one's on magnets. So they're going to work on the Magnet Award when they do this meeting. And so sometimes a meeting for the Busy Bees will be earning an award. Sometimes it'll be learning Bible verses. So there's, you know, different sections. Again, we're going to go over those 4 areas. We're going to talk about my God in one meeting, my world in another meeting, myself, and my family. So depending on what they're learning for a day, that's what they're going to be working on that section. Here's some more examples of what's in the book. For the Magnet Award, they have an activity. They have supplies needed. So it's very well laid out. And if you have somebody that's never, you know, been in adventures and they want to help teach a class, this is a great thing because it's all in here. And you can just say, it will show you, and you just want to have the families work together on these things. This one's showing for the Magnet Award, they're going to do activity. They're going to do Compass Fun. And then they're going to, looks like they're doing an experiment. So again, hands-on, family involvement, you know, and you're just getting the supplies ready and what's needed and kind of leading that group, leading the families and saying, okay, right now, parents, have your child do this, okay? So for success, we want creativity. I am not creative. So I'm so glad these books tell me ideas, and I can Google as good as anybody else, I think. So don't be afraid to get ideas. It's, you know, why invent the wheel when it's already invented? So, but use creativity. If you get stuck in a spot where you're like, that's just not going to work for our group or our families, then find a new idea. Study the class curriculum. Know your level. So, you know, go through, look through the book, look at the meeting that you're going to be working on, know what supplies you're going to need, work out your teaching plan. Like I said, it has it laid out meeting 1, meeting 2, meeting 3, meeting 4, all through the like 26 or 24 meetings. But make sure that during this nice time in Michigan, you're doing your outside activities. And then when it's colder, you're doing the more inside crafts. Work out your teaching plan and any special challenges. If you have a child that has special needs, make sure that you have something for them to do in those activities that they can be involved in as well. Make it fit their level, okay? And then this one, plan your calendar and work your plan. You know, calendars are, I said, when we get to heaven, we're not going to have calendars. Yay! But work your calendar, figure out, you know, when you're going to teach this week, this meeting, and then work your plan. So decide, are there any special needs and interests? Maybe your children really love to, they're more of the artistic ones. So you'll want to do the art award with them, artist award. Choose a meeting number that you're going to work on. Who's going to teach this class? If you're the director, you need to decide who's going to be the Sunbeam leader, who's going to make sure the supplies are ready for that, and have backups. I always say, I always have a backup plan. Make sure you reach out to the person doing this class and say, what meeting are you doing? Oh, okay, you're doing the magnets. Okay, great. Do you have everything you need? And then make sure that you have backup. If they don't show up, you have a backup plan. When will the meeting be taught? Where will it be taught? Make sure you have space to teach the class. Make sure there's enough room between each of the levels so they have room to move, and what supplies are needed. And again, it's all laid out in these lovely books now. Before, I used to have to make my list, and I'm so glad they help us out with that list. All right, so that was a lot. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I want to just go over questions. This is question time, ideas time. If you need, if you have ideas you've used in the past, or if you need some new ideas, share with me. Everybody, you know, if you're new to directing, let me know that too, so I can help you. Any questions over the curriculum?
This is Shannon.
Sure.
Hey, so I'm sure this is asked at every leader shop, but can you talk to me and us about how you make decisions about which classes to teach when you have, you know, 3 or 4 kids in your class?
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. So I came from a small church, so I can easily explain that. What I like to do is, if you have, let's say, a couple eager beavers and little lambs, I would do them together. And maybe one time you'll do an eager beaver level day. And then the next time you'll do a little lamb level day. Okay. Or even I've had where we did, this year we had more little lambs. And so we did little lamb. And then next year we'll do the eager beaver level. And some of the little lambs would be moved into that. And that level, you can usually adjust the crafts and the activities to meet that age group, okay? And then I would put your sunbeams and busy bees together, and then do 1 year do busy bees and next year do sunbeams, so that those ages are pretty close. And then your builders and helping hand the same way. Because you don't want, and I know they're geared for the age level specific, but at the same time, you don't want to have one kid in a class because it just isn't as fun. It's, you know, we're social, you know, kids are social, and they're going to want to have a friend in that class with them. And so I just would say, okay, this year we're going to do the sunbeam level, and next year we'll do the busy bee level. And then, you know, and they don't really have to know that they're going down or up or whatever. It's just, this is the level we're doing. And then we have fun and everybody participates and it's good. We've also done where if we've only had a couple and the game requires lots of people, maybe we'll use a time where we say, okay, we're going to have sharing time with our friends, and then all levels come in and do an activity together. And it covers one of the games in one of the classes, because maybe it's a really cool game that you need a few more kids than just 2 or something. So I'll just say, okay, we're gonna all come together and do this game. And then everybody has fun, and then they go back to whatever it is they were doing. Yes, Tim. You're muted, honey.
Yeah, you have to mute first.
We're in the same room, so I can't be unmuted at the same time she is. One of the things that she was mentioning about doing the 2 classes together, you want to make sure that you're pairing them. I don't know if I missed this, but pairing the Busy Bee with the Sunbeam and the Builder with the Helping Hand. You don't want to do Helping Hand with Busy Bee or Little Lamb with Builders. So that's all I wanted to share.
Shannon, did that help you out?
Yes, yes, it did. Thanks so much.
Okay, good. Yeah, I know. And, you know, adventures in some parts of the state are huge. And then on the other side of the states, there's smaller groups. And the point is that we're with families. And so the parents can help interact as well, which adds a few more people to your activities, a few more to your discussions. So if you involve the parents, that helps add your group, your numbers go up. So other questions, ideas?
Yeah,
Rula.
hi, this is Rula from Metro. So I'm thinking, so I'm brand new leader to the Adventurers Club, and I'm thinking like in Michigan and with the families being so busy with schoolwork during the school year, I'd like to have the Adventurers Club kind of more during the summer months. So maybe meet weekly and then meet more on a monthly basis during the school year. And I'm just wondering if that would work from experienced leaders. Also, I'd like to have some information about like neighboring churches to see if they would like to partner with the Adventure Club, because we basically have 6 kids in our church. And I'd like to have like more effort or more kids towards this beautiful club idea, and more kids benefit from it. So any thoughts or any things that you can share with me?
On your first question, I as a family, I guarded my summers. So I can just tell you that. And maybe other families may not guard them as much, but my summer was time for family vacations, time to just downtime from the whole school thing and the whole busyness of the school year. And so I always wanted to have less meetings in the summer. Now, maybe you meet once a month in the summer. Maybe you get together just to keep the group together. Yeah, Tim, I'll get with you just a second. But I kind of wanted more meetings in the fall. Now, maybe other leaders can say that they might like to do it in the summer more, but you could check with your families, see how they feel, you know, because this is a family ministry. As far as 6, we had 6 and we had a lot of fun. So you can reach out to your other churches and maybe combine. I know East Lansing did it with the Spanish Lansing and they combined theirs. So you could combine, you know, churches next to each other. But, you know, 6 is not a bad number. That's really fun. And you could combine. Go ahead, Tim.
So my wife and I, of course, were in the ministry together with Adventures, and I concur with her on the vacations. Our schedules are very busy during the year. But to answer your question, there's no requirement from the conference that you have to run it during the academic year. But like Sherry said, you really want to make sure that you're working with the families because this is a family ministry. And I also want to concur with Sherry on the size. A lot of times we look at things and we may see a bigger club as being a more successful club. But when you have a smaller club, it's so much easier to take them places, to the zoo or to, whatever. It just makes it very much more manageable. If you want to talk to somebody who has a large club, Corey Heemstra, she's one of our district leaders. How many does she have, Sherry?
I want to say 50.
And you can talk to her about what that means to have 50 individuals in their club and the challenges that she has. So yeah, she does a lot of work. She does a lot of work. And it is a very successful outreach. But especially if you're a new leader, you want to start off between 5 and 12 would be the ideal size, in my opinion.
All right. Yeah, Serena.
Great, thank you.
I know one time years ago, though, it was really fun. I think Corey Hamstra let it out, and a bunch of clubs got together and we did like the Honeybee Award, and they had some beekeepers come. It was a huge group that got together, and that was a lot of fun. All the kids could go. She split it into different groups, and it was neat. And we've talked about that, if there is an award to get some smaller clubs together to make an outing or to do a specific award for one gathering. That was my kids still remember and talk about that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Serena. So if you, do know the leaders in the other churches and there's, somebody's having a special presenter come in or, they're going on an outing to somewhere special, you maybe combine with them. Absolutely. So network with, leaders in your area. And I think Craig's gonna have a leader list so you can know the different people next to you and you could reach out to them and say, hey, Rula, I'm new. And if you're gonna do something really special, have a presenter come in, just let me know because I would love to bring my club. Or, say if you're going somewhere, hey, we might like to join you if our calendar works out. So yeah, that's a great idea, Serena. Tim.
Another thing for Rula, the other thing that you have to understand and take into consideration is that your club is run by your local church. If you have multiple churches, then you have to determine who is running that from a church perspective. So it's not that you can't do it, but it would take a lot of coordination because the director has to be a member of the church board. And so which church board are you going to be a member at? It'd probably be your home church, but then you need representation in the other churches as well. Because all the churches have to approve of an outing. And that makes it a little more difficult, a little more challenging.
Well, and I think if you just have approval from your church and they have approval from their church for their club and you're just joining together, it would be fine. Other questions or ideas?
I was just curious from Ruler, what are the ages for those children you have?
Yeah, I have mostly 3rd and 4th grades.
Oh, fun. That is a great age.
That's better then. Okay. That was I was going to comment on it. It might be difficult to have different ages that too far from others, but I think she is a good group.
Yeah. Yeah, 3rd and 4th graders are a lot of fun. I love that age. That's great.
Thank you.
All right. So I was just going to give a few ideas. So again, we're wanting to keep it active. So if you're doing the health award, what I did was I think they have to learn to brush their teeth. You can have a dentist or a dental hygienist come in and, just talk about what the proper way, and they'll donate toothpaste and toothbrushes, which is always fun for kids. I provided combs and brushes. I think the helping hand has to learn about hygiene. So maybe a small deodorant, you know, those sample deodorants, and so a little thing of shampoo and a brush or a comb, you know, anything that's small. And now with the dollar stores and sample sizes, you can get that stuff very affordable. And they just, anything hands-on that they can hold on to and take and make things with is a great way of teaching kids. It seems so simple, like a comb. Really? A comb's really exciting. Well, it is to kids. They're like, oh, I want the pink one, or I want the blue one, you know? And so all of a sudden it's become this big, huge thing. And I thought, okay, combs, really? But, you know, it's hygiene and we're teaching them. Those are important items. For the safety award, I think one of the levels I brought in, you know, those little mats that you have car roads on and the kids can push their cars on. I brought some cars and I said, okay, now this little person is walking down which side of the street? Oh no, they're walking, you know, the wrong way with the cars. And so we got to make sure they go the right way. And so you can, you know, just, even if you want to draw it on a big poster board and then have them do it, you know, when they come up to the stop sign, you know, or they're riding their bike, which side should they go on? So making it really hands-on, not just talking about it, is engaging the families and letting the dads get down there and play with the cars. You know, it's it's fun to watch, you know, and you're thinking, okay, this may be getting out of control, but at the same time, we want those parental interactions. We want them to have time, and we're teaching the parents to work with their children. We're teaching them all about God all at once. Some other things that we've done. Yes, Tim.
So I was looking at the chat, and Daniela Ortiz said that we have successfully met once a month for years. We try to have an activity or hike, nursing home, singing, etc. for the second one, meaning the second meeting. The reason why I'm sharing that is because we're also YouTubing this and we're recording this. So those who cannot be in this live session, they need to be sharing that with that experience as well.
Thank you for sharing that. That's good to know. Another sample of the fitness fun. You know, you can talk about fitness fun. We can say, okay, we need to, you know, get plenty of exercise, drink our 8, you know, things of water. We need to get fresh air. Let's do it. Let's get up and do some jumping jacks with the kids. Let's, okay, we're going to run in place. This is a great exercise to do, you know, in between your, you know, doing your chores at home or doing some homework. Let's do some 10 jumping jacks, and, you know, so give them ideas so they can do it at home, and get the parents to, you know, stand up and try their best to do it with the kids. Go get some water. I give little cups when we talk about the fitness, and okay, everybody's going to go get a glass of water. And now during the day, we would drink 8 of these, or, you know, so just get them up out of the seat, get them moving, because you're talking about fitness. And so we don't want them just sitting there. We want them actually doing something. Do leapfrog. That's a great, they give one of those as a game. So, you know, really get them moving, get them hands on. We don't want to sit there and just tell them, yeah, there's some times when you're going to talk about something, but we're going to want to get them up out of the seat. Even to do like the Bible 1 and the Bible awards, you can actually learn memory verses by walking on, you know, little pieces of paper that have Bible verses on them, pieces of the Bible verse. You can have them go over and flip a card, you know, and have it on little cards, the Bible verses word by word, and then have them flip it over. So you can get up and move even by doing the Bible awards. So we want to make sure they're moving, hands-on, interactive. Other ideas I was looking, courtesy award. That's always fun. They got to learn how to set the table, you know, and be polite at a table. So maybe have a small little snack that they have to set the table for. And how do we act at the table? How are we courteous? if I'm at the drinking fountain, now that we don't use drinking fountains anymore, but if I'm at a door and somebody needs to go through the door, oh, here, let me get that for you, or, and just walk through those different situations. Do a lot of role playing. Role playing is great for children because they're actually learning. Have the parents role play with their child. Okay, Dad, would you tell us how, when mom goes to sit down at a table, what should he do, or what should you do? And, so that kind of thing. Do we put our elbows on the table, And so even for the courtesy award, it seems so simple, but it's really something kids need to learn, families need to learn together, and we can do it hands-on. Any other questions?
I have a question about COVID. In case everything closes down, what do we do with the curriculum and everything?
Sure. So last night, Corey had a great idea, and I love this because we're family ministry. You can have the families doing stuff at home. She was going to make buckets and put like crayons and glue, and looking ahead at what she was going to have the families do at home, and then just getting basic supplies, and then being able to Zoom and say, okay, today we're going to work on this area. And so at home with your family, you could then just say, please do this award or this, and you could even share it via email, or, show a picture of a craft, or, so I think we can still do it. I mean, if schools can do online for the whole year or half a year, I think we can figure out how to teach the awards and just share, the award online, email the parents, and then share, like she was going to buy the supplies. Most parents probably have glue at home, markers and crayons, but if you wanted to, do a bucket or a box or something in a supply box. So do you guys have other ideas on how we can do that? I know COVID's making it a little bit more challenging, but since it's family ministry, they're doing it as a family. So I think we can really work with it.
I just want to share a little bit about our VBS in East Lansing. Yeah. They're on the VBS right now. I'm missing it today. It was really interesting. They have people in Trinidad, they have people in different states. I was so impressed to see the stories, music, how the kids are involved in crafts and all that. That was very impressive. It's finishing today or tomorrow, I can't remember. But it's beautiful.
Did they do it online, Delilah?
On Zoom.
On Zoom.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
I was impressed.
Okay, good. All right, Tim.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that with VBS, that is a wonderful place to actually recruit for adventures and also for Sabbath school. So if you have those names, those contacts, you should invite them into the club, because it's basically a continuation of VBS all year long. And also Sabbath school is a good place to bring them into.
Daniela, did that help give you some ideas?
Yes, we're thinking of doing some Ziploc bags for specific awards, because if you're doing something like sand art, you need to put the colored sand and little things. So we're thinking about doing that only if things close down. Otherwise, we'll do it in person.
Right. And I like the bag idea. That's great too. The big Ziploc bags, you can get a lot in that. And you could have like a pickup point or a pickup time at the church, I'll put them out here on the table, and then you can pick up your bag to work with your family. Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. I think we can, and make sure that, you're getting your group leaders involved, because I can tell you I'm a type A personality, and a type A personality takes on the whole thing and does it all. And it's so nice now that these are divided into each group, so you can give your leaders and say, hey, could you get some bags ready and have them at the church so the families could pick it up? And then when we talk about this meeting number or this area, we're going to do the My Family this week, then they can pick up their crafts or their ideas for the My Family, so that you're all working on the same thing. And when you go online to just talk about it, everybody has their My Family section stuff. But you don't have to do it all, because you have different leaders in that, and they can get that section together. That's why it's so important to remember the 4 areas, so that when you're working with your groups, you can say, we're all working on this area, so that when you're talking online and you're saying, okay, everybody should have their stuff for the My God section. We're going to be doing Bible, or we're going to be doing the nature. And so with your family this week, could you go out and take a walk and do your nature craft or whatever it is that they're working on? And so you can kind of, the leader's guide, let me see if I can find the director's guide. Actually, the director's guide actually shows all the different, for each level. Let me find the page here. It actually has all the different areas and tells what they would work on for that week or that meeting. So you could all be on the same area, just doing different things for different levels. Does that make sense? Okay. Other questions or ideas? I'm gonna go through and see if I can find some other things we've worked on in the past. The Eager Beavers can do a scavenger hunt. What a great thing, even on Zoom, okay? They go in their house and they find these different things. Okay, I need you to find this, or go outside and find one of these. And so, you know, that is a fun thing to do online. I know just watching kids in the Pathfinder meeting, Pastor Craig would have them go find things in the house to do an honor, and they would go find whatever, and they'd bring back and they say creatively come up with an idea. So, you know, kids love to go find things in their home. So scavenger hunt. You could even do, they could make something like for the alphabet fun, we did pretzels in shapes of the alphabet letter of their name. And so at home, they could make that dough and then make pretzels at home. So you could do something like that. I Can Care for My Body, health specialist, you know, they can do something healthy at home and then maybe make a healthy snack, a smoothie. You know, you could do a recipe on, you know, showing it on Zoom. Okay, well, today we're making this healthy smoothie recipe, and maybe you can make it at home this week with your family and just show that. And so you can do so many different things. The temperance one, we've made t-shirts, and I bought cheap t-shirts at the store. I mean, cheap t-shirts, and then just fabric markers, and then you let them design a logo. And those kids wear those, and they are so proud of those temperance logos that they've designed. And so, and take pictures. Make sure you take pictures of your kids doing things. And then, you know, once in a while, show the pictures to the whole group. You know, kids love to share what they're doing with other kids. The Bee Award, as simple as it is, the honeybee, I bought some of those little honey sticks and shared a honey stick with each of them as we talked about, and they got to try the honey. So, you know, just very hands-on. I had a beekeeper come in. There's a lot of people that do beekeeping nowadays. I forget what it's called, but yeah. So they love to come in and show all their gear. And
apiary.
Apiary, thank you. Yeah, so apiary, and they can even do it on Zoom. So even if you can't have them come, if you know people like Delia was saying, out of state, they can actually Zoom in and show your kids stuff. And if you know somebody out of the country, even, you can have them come in for a Zoom. So, that back 5 years ago, we weren't able to do. So I think we have a lot of different things we can do. On Sunday, I have a few crafts I'll be showing for the Ladybug and the Honeybee Award. And that's, if you're not taking one of the other classes, there'll be some craft ideas. My family helps, care for myself, the Sunbeam, how we can help around the house. You know, vacuuming, dusting, picking up our toys, you know, cleaning our room. And so there's a whole bunch of hands-on that we want to make sure we do. The geology for the helping hands, you can order a rock set that they can then, you can show, and then they can label and put on a board. So you can, and nowadays you can order all kinds of things, but you can find things in your home. The Button Award, everybody has loose buttons around their home. And so you can make a little craft with buttons and what are those, pipe cleaners? And they can make little animals and critters with buttons and pipe cleaners. And you have the Button Award craft. So very hands-on, include your parents.
So Rula is asking everybody on what day of the week do they have their club meeting. So this would be a good opportunity for everybody to share when they choose to do their meetings. And that includes those who don't have the cameras on. Speak right up.
Yep, go ahead and just let me know when you do them.
I'm Andrea Tribby. I'm the new director for the Holly Hedgehogs. And Holly has typically done meetings. We basically follow the Pathfinder schedule. We have them on the same night so that parents with kids in both ages don't have to, you know, take up multiple nights. And typically we've had them on Tuesday night. Last year, the adventure group, the Pathfinder group didn't do this, but the adventure group tried something different, and we did one Tuesday evening a month and one Sabbath afternoon a month. And I think the Pathfinders liked that, so they're actually latching on to that, and we're both doing it this year. So our meetings are about an hour and a half, and we spend the first 20 to 30 minutes like in a devotional together, singing the song, that kind of thing. And then we either do a group award or we break off into the classrooms for like the last hour.
Good, good. Thank you, Andrea. Someone else, tell me what day you've done it. Okay, I know we did a Sabbath afternoon and a Sunday morning, and we did 2 times a month. So, and we love the Sabbath afternoons. I think families need to find positive things for Sabbath afternoon, and Adventures has wonderful positive things for Sabbath afternoon activities. So I love the Sabbath afternoon time. And yet some families say that's our time together. So you have to just, you know, work with your church and your families and know, you know, what you can do. Like she said, working with Pathfinders, that's one thing we do. So other days that people have chosen, anybody else? Clubs, that sometimes is the hardest one. When am I going to do it? And an hour and a half works. We usually did 2 hours because Andrea, we did our 20 minutes and then we had like an hour and a half to do everything else. So yeah, and an hour and a half to 2 hours is a perfect time because you can get through the your intro and then your class time. Okay, we're about done. So I need any last questions before we have prayer. All right, well, I've enjoyed sharing, and my email address, I think I put that out there at the end, but I'll put it in chat, is